Hi, it's Marcia Glenn here of the Glenn Advantage team with the Hoard Hanna Penfield office. We are here today to introduce a community service that I'm very excited to be able to have the Glenn Advantage team, as our motto is, we are here for our community, get involved with. So our guests today are Duncan and Cathy Kamp from Penfield Hope. So I wonder, Duncan, can you tell us exactly where we're located and how that ties into Penfield Hope?
We're part of St. Joseph's Church. We operate out of the church. So if you know where St. Joseph's Church is here on Gephardt, then you know where we are. We're here really to support the critical unmet needs of those in the Penfield community and surrounding communities. And we help those in the parish and the Penfield School District. So we try and extend help to those individuals and families that need some extra support in our community.
And Cathy, how long has Penfield Hope been here?
So Penfield Hope began officially in June of 2018, so we're coming up on our 3-year anniversary. And Penfield Hope is our way of formalizing what the parish always did informally, but Penfield Hope has really put more of a process in place.
What is the overall kind of mission statement, let's say, for Penfield Hope?
So we respond to what we call critical unmet needs of the Penfield community through meaningful encounter, through dialogue, and then very practical services. So all of those things are important to us. The encounter piece, that we actually sit with people, we talk with them, we try to understand the bigger picture of what's going on for them, financially, or if there's some sort of a family crisis. To be able to really empower them to be the one kind of directing the conversation and finding some of their own solutions, and just kind of being there to provide the resources for that. And then ultimately, whatever those practical needs are, whether that's food or clothing or diapers and wipes, those are the things that ultimately, we can help the person walk out the door that day, with those practical things. And then maybe they have some homework to go home and do to come back with us with some, some more information or some documentation, so that we could then take it to a next step.
Okay. Tell me a little bit of background in terms of the whole charitable portion of it and how it is that Penfield Hope actually runs, and how it is that you get involved with the community. How does the community know that you're here?
Basically, as Cathy said, we would have individuals, often individuals seek out a church or worship site for support. And so what we wanted to do is we kept getting these kinds of requests, and we said, how can we look at the needs that these individuals have and also address a longer term issue? How can we support them with services that make them self-sufficient, and also help link them with community resources that they may not be aware of? And so the combination of our faith tradition, which calls us actually to do this, is part of how we live out our faith tradition and understanding the call that we have through our Christian faith. We're able to link individuals with services and concrete needs, like we see behind us, for them. But our whole piece is to try and have family stability and help them on a road to independence.
And another very important aspect is that we have so many wonderful partners in the community. Besides the very generous people who are part of the St. Joseph's community, we have wonderful partners in the Penfield Central School District, particularly in their social work office, who will refer families to us who have very particular needs, or when their own resources just kind of run out and they need somebody who can just be creative. For example, sometimes there'll be a student who can get all sorts of resources to go to the prom, except somebody to pay for the prom ticket, So we have that flexibility, and we can be nimble and figure out how to make something like that work. The other partner that is just very important to us is the Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf, which has been in existence for over 20 years, and they have a very particular and specific mission of food. And we try, as Duncan has explained, to offer more kind of wraparound services, things that would go along with the food, but in terms of financial assistance, clothing and things like that.
So the two pieces, two separate kind of charitable organizations here within our own community, Penfield Hope and Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf. What are the differences in the types of things that you at Penfield Hope are really looking to collect for folks, as opposed to the food shelf? They have to be kind of two baseline separate things that are really being collected overall.
Sure, let me talk about the Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf. So they're the primary provider for food for people in need, and they will do that on an ongoing basis. Again, we look at stability, and that can come from a number of ways, but helping people offset their food expenses helps them stay in housing, helps stabilize their families. So the food shelf does a very, very nice job providing both perishable and non-perishable food for the community, and they can continue to come, and if there's a great need, they can give the Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf a call, let them know that there's a particular need they have, and then when the Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf has other requests that they can't, such as rent requests, financial requests, clothing requests, things like that for families, they would refer to us.
So at Penfield Hope, we do also provide food, but just non-perishable food. So we don't have any refrigeration to be able to provide that kind of fresh meat and produce. But what we also provide are what we refer to as wraparound services, or Food Link, which we and the Food Shelf are both members of Food Link, what they would refer to as the wraparound services. So that would be things like clothing, and also financial assistance. I can tell you for many years we would get requests here at the parish for rent assistance, and we had to simply say we don't do that because we didn't have a process. It's complicated, but as Penfield Hope, we've been able to secure a grant through the county and the city of Rochester so that we can now provide rent assistance based on certain criteria.
So how many families or people do you think, in terms of being able to service or take care of on, let's say, a yearly basis?
We probably, over the course of a year, say maybe 100 families.
Wow.
Each time we have a particular drive, like if we do a back-to-school drive every year, and then offer backpacks and school supplies, we'll probably see about 50 families or something like that, and about the same at Christmas time, between maybe 50 and 60 families.
Yeah.
So how is it that they reach out to you and end up kind of enlisting your assistance on that?
211 has our number, and so we also try to put the word out. The YWCA has some information for us, the YMCA. We have people, some brochures over at the town hall. So, and Cathy's,
Library.
yes, Cathy's great with social media, so we try and put it out on social media, of course, to our congregation. But again, the other churches in the area are also joining in, so we get referrals, and we've given many area churches our information to refer people here.
Yeah, so just today, I just wanted to share something that one of our volunteers said. So just today, she met with someone who came for the first time seeking rent assistance, and had a really hard time just walking in the door and asking. And she said, when we sat down to talk, I said, "You've already done the hardest part. You've come." And that is so true. It is so hard for all of us, right, to ask for help. But to ask for financial help is especially hard.
Extremely. So one of the things that the Glen Advantage team would like to be able to help with is we have a June 5th, a Saturday, from 12 to 4, set up for an actual donation site to take place for Penfield Hope. We'll have it in the actual parking lot of the Hoard Hanna office right on 441 1797 Penfield Road. And we'll have some directional signs and whatnot for folks to know how to come in, drop off, and then leave. But we really want to be able to kind of donate that day for you in terms of helping to collect whatever it is that you might happen to need, at least as a beginning start for us to get involved with Penfield Hope. So perhaps you can kind of share the types of things that you're looking for on that day so that we can start getting that message out.
Yes, well,
folks.
we very, very much appreciate it, and we know that people are going to be very generous, so in advance we will say thank you, thank you, thank you. We did reach out to our friends at the Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf because it's our intention to share whatever is donated with them. So we came up with a list of baked beans, pasta and sauce, canned fruit, flour and sugar. We always need baby wipes, which have been much in demand during the pandemic, but some of those just very basic, non-perishable food items, or things like the baby wipes or paper products. You see a lot of toilet paper and paper towels behind us. Those are all very much always in need, so we would be very appreciative of whatever people would like to donate, but certainly all non-perishable food
Key.
would be much appreciated. Yes.
Well, good. Well, we certainly hope to make it extremely successful for you for that day, and look forward to our partnership moving forward throughout the years in terms of keeping this going. I'm very excited about having this happen, and Glen Advantage team is extremely excited about being involved. So thank you very much for allowing us to become part of the Penfield Hope family, let's say.
And thank you for helping us get the word out. That is so important.
No,
We really
absolutely.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. So perhaps you could tell our folks in terms of, again, who you are and how they can reach out to you individually. If they want to pick up the phone, just make a phone call direct and become involved that way.
Yes, so people can call us anytime at 585-586-5139. Our email is very simple, penfieldhope@gmail.com. And we are located right at St. Joseph's Church. It's 41 Gephardt Road, right here in Penfield. And we very much look forward to talking with any other future partners, but also anyone who might have a particular need that we can help with.
Okay, so I'm hoping that you can certainly join us on June 5th, Saturday, from 12 to 4. It's our first donation drive for Penfield Hope and Penfield Ecumenical Food Shelf. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much for joining us today. And our next community spotlight, I'm hoping that you're looking out for. Thank you.